got my hat ready.
All right, you're all fixed up there?
No.
Okay, good. So we're live now. I don't know how many people are coming. This is taping, so you can watch this later. Don't know how good my camera is, and I don't know if I'm looking even at the right spot. Let's adjust this now. Okay, that looks all right. Who's out there? Anybody out there just yet? Well, we can have up to 200 people in this room, and so far,
One.
oh, was there one? Where's one?
I can see it there. Who's
Where? My daughter is much more technically adept than I am.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Ron. Or it's Leslie. Which one of you is it? All I see is your name team. Name team.
Your name team.
Your team name.
Yes.
Oh, so anyway, it's a great old night. We've had sort of Mother Nature's fury today in the way that, it was like -3 this morning, and then it was a great afternoon, then it turned into icy rain, and then it was all kind of gross, right? So what does my daughter do? Like about an hour ago, hey Ron, an hour ago, it's pissing rain out there, and it's icy cold rain. I imagine there's probably hard ice building up on the car. And she asks me if I want to take the dogs to the park. And no. So I didn't. So Ron, I'm glad that you're out there. We should hopefully we get a couple more people on here tonight. It has been a while since we've done a live. And at the very least, people can watch this later. So anyway, I thought I'd get things together there. And Ron, I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to all the thousands and thousands of people that will be checking this out at some point in time when it has 32 views. So obviously I had to bring Fiona on. Fiona is now officially with the team. Frankly, though, you've been investigating since you were about 13 years old. I've been bringing her out.
Yeah, I went to Oakwood.
Yeah, I've been to a few. And to be other bits of fare, she literally grew up in this, right? Because ever since forever, I've been involved with this. Much like your kids there, Ron. It's good when they grow up in it. And one of the things, unfortunately, I can admit to is have used Fiona for bait in the past. Look, she's an adult now. She's like, got university education and all kinds of stuff. She's a, forensic psychologist, so she can take all this and just live with it, that I've traumatically ruined her life when she was a child. So we used to bring her on investigations, especially when there was children were supposed to have been in the claim. Fiona had a share of her own troubles when she was younger. She's more than willing to admit. So she was the perfect person that could communicate. I'm sort of on the level of perfection, so I can only talk to spirits that were level-headed and rational. So we had, Fifi out doing that sort of thing. Now she's with the team, and she is our social media director. So, you're going to notice that there will be more posts and better copy and pastes. I don't know what the hell you call it. It's not just things about me up at my trailer. We've got an Instagram page which is now specifically only for the paranormal, and likewise. So I've given her admin control of the fan page, and she's working on a TikTok and all that other shit that I have known nothing about. I tried to make a TikTok.
It'll be a little bit harder, I'll say, because of how the algorithm works. You get more videos based on what you like. Now, what I find on TikTok in the past few years is a lot of people fake haunting videos, and I myself have fallen into that trap of sending you them, and it's just a load of shit. It's like people like turn on lights from like another room, and like it sucks because you really think it's cool, and then it's just crock. So, but the thing is you have to get people in the right algorithm, because if you just get those teeny weebies that are like 14 years old, they're like, "Oh, fucking loser, you must see a ghost." So you gotta find like a good round of people.
Well, I know that we're gonna do pull out equipment and talk and that sort of, but that doesn't. I know that when I'm using TikTok, which is generally private time, is that a proper way to say it? I don't want to talk about it right here on on the whole world watching. We have 3 people watching, and they don't want to hear that. But that's sort of where you use TikTok. Everybody else does too. So do you, Ron. You use it on the can, and really all I'm seeing is a bunch of people that kind of talk over a pre-recorded voice, or move their mouth to it, and shake their boobs or their bum, or throw stuff at each other or something dumb. So I don't know how much that's going to make matter. Okay, so I got 2 more people on here, and you guys can comment in. Who's on with us right now? Now this is probably a team member. Let's predict that. Maybe it's Scooby on there.
Probably Scooby.
It's probably Scooby. And it could be Wes. Wes has always been supportive of these. Who is it? Could be Flavio. Flavio goes in on a lot of these. It doesn't matter. You're going to be too chicken to talk about it. So tonight's topic, the pandemic. Because you know what? Woo! I was hearing about something about the pandemic. I don't know what the hell it is. It's new. Oh, that's a totally new person. Hello from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. The Office of Paranormal Studies here. Well, hello. We've investigated in Windsor. We had an emergency case in Windsor. An emergency case. I'm digressing. I'm getting away from COVID for a second. Sorry, actually, that was a legitimate cough. That wasn't a COVID cough.
We need to give you a test.
I went to work today, so if I have COVID, everybody I work with is just done. So we went to Windsor. I just want to tell the story because we were actually, at this point in time, is when I founded the team. So we were based up in. Good. We'll talk about that debate. Now you lost me. Okay, we were based up in Pembroke, right? So Ottawa area, and we had this apartment building. So the whole thing was haunted. Can't get any tenants in there. So it was an emergency. So we actually managed to get 4 of our members to drive from the Ottawa area to Windsor within 24 hours, spent 2 days in this apartment building, came back, analyzed the evidence with jack shit. The place was empty. So we came back to them. We said, we're sorry, we didn't get any evidence towards this. We did manage to debunk a lot of things that were happening. His wiring was like old knob and tube. Like it was terrible. The place was just a great emitter of multiple energy sources. And then he got a lawyer to contact us because we had produced a video and sent it to him, and he got a lawyer to contact us to remove it in all records of his investigation. And because I had used the word, in my judgment, I don't think there's anything paranormal going on here. And he told me that the only person that can judge is God. So that I was basically a Satanist or something. To which case I claimed that was okay, and we went on with our business and took it down. That's now 2 cases that we've had to remove from our cadre due to a lawyer getting involved. Can you imagine that? Like 2 cases of paranormal. You go do free stuff for people.
Like a full cease and desist?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, the other one was because I called the Children's Aid Society.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Because they were
full of neglect.
If I could get real truthful about it, I can't here because I can't. But let's just say it was the house of abuse. So I called the appropriate sources, and we got a cease and desist. I don't know how they could afford a lawyer because, frankly, they couldn't afford shoelaces if they tried. So going back to COVID. Now that I've digressed like crazy, I guess having somebody to bounce things off of here makes me talk more. We're kind of thinking about what I wanted to ask people out there, and hopefully they'll comment after this because I know that Ron's there and Derek is there. So I think Derek's still there. About how COVID has affected your team and what are you seeing trends going around you, and like the client-based situation, so the incoming work and your exponential, like what you are. Is that right? That wasn't the right way to say that. No, you're. The way your team for you guys. I've been noticing, over the last 2 years, it's actually been a little longer. I think the unfortunate side effect about having a great pandemic like this is that you have excuses. A lot of them.
I find that you can't come here, it's COVID, or one of our investigators will say, oh, we can't go because it's COVID. We can't invalidate it.
No,
no.
So that's funny because it's a legitimate
Reason.
It's a legitimate reason. Okay. It's certainly during the height of things anyway.
Yeah.
Like, we had like 8 trillion cases.
Yeah, you feel like a dick. You're like, well, you're not coming to cases.
And nobody wants you in their home anyway.
No, exactly.
And there's lots of places that we normally would investigate that also doesn't want you in.
Yeah.
Like right about now, this time of year, we'd be doing Publix and all kinds of stuff. Again, you know what I mean? We still managed to reach out with 10 cases this year, but like 10 cases for us is.
I was gonna say, I joined about September last year. I didn't make one case, and there's still I think I've only done about 4 investigations.
No.
I went to Bonneville, Pickering, Lloyd, and here, and then the 101.
Okay, so whatever.
I just didn't make Sunderland. That was it.
We've had some other cases. We've got some other stuff coming up, but it's definitely been slow. And we could definitely know that in 2020 was basically just a write-off, right? Like it was. We couldn't go anywhere. We weren't allowed to go anywhere. We had to stay in our damn homes. So I understood. As a team, I don't know what you guys did to keep active. I know that, with Ronnie, your team is your family. So, you're stuck with them anyway, right? Riley and Connor aren't turning around going, I quit, Dad, you're an asshole, because they're there and you feed them.
I did some outdoor stuff.
I should have kept it that way about 27 years ago. I would have never even had you. So, I think what's been happening is that, and I understood it for a while, and then things got a little bit better, and we started to have some of the restrictions lifted. Yeah. I know that we were careful, like we masked up, and everybody, like now everybody on our team is vaccinated. It's an absolute must.
Yeah, we won't have it any other way.
Yeah, it won't happen. Everybody's done, and we won't have anybody new that won't be. I've got the Check Ontario verified app on my phone, so when we go to investigate, I can check the people that are there. Unfortunately, guys, it's just the way we kind of got to do it these days, right?
And just ensure safety measures.
Yep. It ensures safety. It also kind of ensures your team. Yeah. And I think it's the ethical thing.
I think, I can only imagine what it would be like to allow someone to come into your home to investigate, and then they end up infecting your family with a potential fatal disease.
Yeah, we're all worried about bringing home ghosts.
Yeah.
Bringing home COVID.
So it's definitely ethical to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's also the other way around with us being vaccinated. Why the hell? I don't want to take a chance going into somebody's home and then getting them sick.
Oh, right? Yeah, I can't imagine it.
I realized that the whole world's going to go into a big, and now I'm probably going to get slammed all over YouTube. I don't care. Yeah, you might end up with the flu-like symptoms, but you're not ending up, with ECMO in your throat, right?
On life end liver dialysis. Awesome.
Wow. See, you're talking about UFOs and crypto.
You were just posting about that.
I was just posting about that. You know what? Like I've been investigating about 27 years. 34. Wow, that's a big tenure than myself, buddy. I've run this team for 17, and I never, ever did get into UFOs or crypto. I think really what the reason it is I'm born and bred here in Oshawa. And I know you're down in Windsor. Maybe you just can get to an area better. Yeah. But there's just too many damn lights, you know what I mean? Yeah. To see a UFO. And I just don't know of any cryptids.
Okay, well, in Saskatchewan, Indigenous culture is very much cryptid. They've got, the Wendigos, etc. And I was at a sleepover at 7 years old. 7, and it's normal in their culture, and my friends were talking to me about Mothman, and I kid you not, I had Mom pick me up at 3:00 in the morning because I was never exposed to the cryptology stuff. So 3:00 in the morning, you're telling me Mothman's gonna eat all my clothing and kill me, and then they would tell me about the sightings they've had, and that to them that's normal, and then to me I'm like, what the fuck? Come pick me up, I'm scared.
You're all that freaked. I wish I was there to see that. So, we're going on about COVID again there. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering on how it's affecting other people's teams and how it's affecting clients and what I mean, obviously clients aren't as interested in that. The public places we used to do it aren't as interested.
Well, Ron rather do commercial versus residential right now.
Yeah, I would rather do commercial versus resi right now. Just one of the things too is that I think how it affects teams is people get out of practice.
Yeah.
Because I know that we actually did one here at my home. I didn't. I wasn't part of it because I don't shit where I sleep. But I mean, other people did, and I could see the whole out of practiceness.
I agree. I think we got a bit too comfortable and let back a bit. I think for me, it's really hard because I grew up in the house. So like my version of events, like just trying to like discuss things with them. I'm like, well, this would have to end. Like it's a lot harder.
Yeah,
you just said you don't shit where you sleep. So like for me, the bedroom, I grew up here. So
yeah. So we've done that kind of stuff. But I do think that there's an unpracticedness and an apathy. I know that on on our team, there's seasoned people that have been around for 15 years that it's just like you go to the gym 4 nights a week, right? And then you kind of lean off a little bit, and then you find other things you can do till your time, right? And I've always, like, even to my own team, I've always said to my members, look, I don't want to be the top priority in your life because this is a volunteer thing. I just want to be a priority in your life. And you tend to get shuffled down at the bottom of the deck,
which sucks.
Which does suck because as much as you all know, that like we're a volunteer organization, right? You don't get paid to do this stuff, but regardless of being volunteer, you still have clients that count on you. So you got to have volunteers that are willing to do it. And if you have a team that's got like 32 members, you're going to bloody implode, right? Because all those other members are going to be able to count on the other members to take up the slack. And we tried to do things, research projects, because like during that year where we couldn't do anything, so we're reading and watching movies and we're doing calls and whatever. But during that period of time, we definitely suffered a bit of influx. Oh, yeah, all kinds of stuff written here. So look how stupid I look when I read it.
That's great to hear, Ron. Yeah.
And Derek, yep, absolutely. I love cemeteries. We don't tend to investigate cemeteries or outdoor locations, frankly, but I do love them.
It's an ominous feeling.
I actually, funny story about a cemetery. Well, I don't think it's funny. I think it's amazing because it's me. I was doing a cemetery. I wasn't doing the tour. I was on a tour in the one we had here in Oshawa.
Yeah.
If anybody knows Oshawa, there's really not a lot of cemeteries. There's like one huge cemetery. Yeah, and like 3 small cemeteries for a town of 200,000 people. I guess they can fit them all in one cemetery.
No one dies here.
No one dies. We go somewhere else to die because we get out of Oshawa. And I got asked for an autograph. Yeah. This like 17-year-old girl ran up. She goes, "Are you Dave Gibb?" I'm like,
I am.
Well, I am. Can I have your autograph? And her mom took a picture of us together. And I was there with my wife and your Aunt Shan, who thought this was the funniest crap in the world. They just rolled. Don't allow me to have my moment in the sun here that I got asked for an autograph. Instead, laugh at me.
I would have laughed.
Yeah. So that was the first and only time. Except now that I'm a chapter.
You're a chapter.
I'm a chapter. Yeah, I'm a chapter in a book right now. It even has my picture. And now my team, we have our annual Christmas dinner, and they're all going to have a little autograph signing session, so I can sign their books. So special. So yeah, we don't do those very much. So going out back into the whole pandemic discussion. So we've had to make some alterations to the way things are, tighten things up. It's a damn shame, but what I've seen is a growth. However, I'm not going to name teams. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I will on a private one-to-one. I think teams know how I feel about certain ways. If you watch my videos, any of my Darkside stuff, you'll know how I feel about not pragmatic investigation. I've just seen a huge rise in several areas right now of teams that rely on psychics, uh, K2 Spirit Box. Yes, we're on Facebook. We have a fan page. Just look up Chaps Paranormal. You know, what else? Maybe SLS or what? STS, SLS Connect. What else do we want to call it? That stupid peg machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Teams that are reliant on that and can't
do an investigation without it.
Right. We beta tested this one for a couple of years. It doesn't work. And we kept that thing in its most, like infallible possible way of doing it. It doesn't work. Okay. That's fine. I mean, I got no problem with that. I beta tested it, probably 200 investigations.
And you beta tested a lot over COVID. We have a whole series of
I did I kept myself busy.
Yeah.
I kept myself busy because I was on a disability pension during COVID. Well, good timing. And I didn't get CERB or whatever the hell it is everybody still trying to get.
I got one or two.
No, I'm not a fan of Trudeau, guys. So I did a whole series on testing things on. Wow, my camera's just jumping in and out. Fucking Logitech. It's garbage. On dowsing rods.
Yeah.
On
the
Ouija board. The flashlight test. Oh my god, I hate that thing.
Okay.
Right? So hold on. If we just stay still like this, it won't focus out.
No breathing. It's fine.
Okay. So yes, I agree. And I can't wait to take off the mask. It's okay. She's my daughter. We are in the same room. We are exchanging COVID as we speak. But there's a huge rise in teams that I'm seeing that are like getting members like this, which is bizarre because I can't grow a member.
Yeah.
Wait, that didn't sound right.
No.
I can't obtain new members for the team.
There you go.
Certainly because we've got a pretty high threshold, but I can't. Whether we've developed this reputation, trying to get people that are, well, it's kind of like work right now. Like, okay, I work for a company and I swear to God, like we've got about 50% of the employees we actually need. Nobody wants to work. And I know everybody says because you're not paying enough, but like CERB's going to run out at some point. I'm working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week right now, picking up the slack, which is fine because in the end, maybe I'll get a nice bonus. It's the same thing with the teams. It seems like people are drafting towards the teams where it's like, well, we're going to get immediate results.
I think I find that.
And I'm a psychic, so I can go into a house and say, I see. They don't see. Well, they do see. They feel a vortex.
Yeah. I don't think like it's necessarily terrible to have some spirituality in the team, but to have your team full of it, you're just not gonna get what you need.
Well, you're not covering the proper spectrum.
Well, that's the thing is that to find hauntings, not to disprove them, and I think that's where we completely don't we go in there to ease their mind, not make them not want to sleep at night. So,
unfortunately, I think it's also brought out the people that want that kind of team because they think something's happened in their house over a certain period of time, and what they want is to have their claims justified, which is a shame.
And they don't like being told that it's not. We've had some homes where they go a little bit dramatic while we're there to exaggerate things. So that
we've had people that had speakers built into their floor
so that they can be told that they are haunted.
Yeah, it is what it is. And right now I'm thinking like this is what I'm seeing, man, because there's the only thing I'm seeing that the teams that are busy, how can you bring like 6 psychics into a house? Isn't there like a don't cross the beams thing going on there?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't they all cancel each other out? They don't out psychic themselves.
That's bad math. Psychic version.
Oh, that's math. I hated math. So I guess where it comes down to is yes, we could use some more spirituality. I have to admit, I'm kind of like a little biased by that because of the fact that I was raised in the spiritualist church. I went through all that training extensively. So I kind of know the tricks of the trade, and everybody's a damn psychic because you can't tell them that they're not psychic because you can't prove that they're not psychic. You know, oh, your emotions are this, right? And
you're wrong.
And everybody brings in a K2 meter.
Yes, everyone is an empath.
Right.
Yes.
You know, your K2 goes off. You know, everything. It's what's really making things popular.
Yeah,
right now.
noting a spike is fine, but when your entire, investigation is based off of the K2, then there's some problems.
And I realize that there are some popular names in the world of the paranormal. I get it. And there's some equipment that are made by popular people. But you got to do some digging into these people and where this equipment comes from, how it gets made, and what actually it is. You know, I mean, I don't want to out names. I don't like to do that. I don't want to get libel suit. Meters, certain meters don't work very well. You know what I mean? If you got yourself a single axis EMF meter, you got to realize how to use it properly. And most people don't. You know, take your base reads properly, get a baseline, take the theory of what's going on, submit against claims. Like, you want to be able to keep a pragmatic. I don't tend to use the scientific word. I think that's dangerous because it depends on how close to the scientific method. I guess I've worked with some scientific teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider us
we're not scientific.
We're not scientific.
No.
We're pragmatic, but not scientific.
You know, logic is fine. It's okay. You know, it doesn't mean that you're boring. We have a lot of fun on investigations, and things happen too. You know, like sometimes shit happens. They're like, that's great. You know, but it is what it is. And I don't think COVID has helped that because it's really brought out the drama, and it's brought out what people are so effing bored right now that they want this team to come in their house with 7 psychics and tell them.
Yeah, tell them that their house is haunted.
It's 14 spirits in this house.
Poltergeist.
Sure.
Sounds great.
We'll take guests, although it would be up here.
Yes.
It would be up here. You're in Windsor. You're down there, up here.
Yeah.
I mean to pick on you, man.
Yeah. Everyone has a poltergeist in their house.
You know what? Like 500 investigations, thereabouts, within about 10. I've never had a poltergeist, guys. I've never had what happens in the movies. I'm really upset by it.
Thrown against a wall, slapped in the face.
That'd be awesome. Even all these places, in the States where everybody goes, oh my God, we're going to go to Waverly Hills tonight to name somebody. We're going to go blah, blah, blah hills tonight. It's the most haunted place in the United States. So what it is $2,000 Canadian. That's what it is.
Lots of money.
Okay. And almost no evidence. So no, I can tell you, like, we've done a couple hundred commercial investigations in the United States, and there's 2 that we've come out of and gone back to because it's like, this place has got what seems to be bona fide activity, not proof, bona fide activity. So I'm really hoping, of course, remember that, the land border is opening up on the 8th, but you got to get a stupid PCR test, which down there is like $100, 3 days in advance of you coming back, or some crap rule like that. So if you're going shopping in Watertown for whatever, you got to be down there for enough days. Basically, you got to take the test as soon as you get there so you can come back in 3 days.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I need to renew my passport, first of all.
But I don't know when we're going to travel. I don't know where we're going to go to States.
It's definitely not so far in our future. I mean,
Ronnie, can you set us up where we were before at that one time? I'm not going to say it out loud, but when we came down and investigated with you guys, I'm actually healthier now. I'm in better shape. I'd like to come back to that location and see if we can repeat what happened before. You're still obviously involved with that organization. I know Ron knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's unfortunately what's happened. And I've had to do some things with my team that I didn't want to. You know what? Like, if you take CHAPS 5, 6 years ago, 3 offices, like 19 members, 20 members, all active. All offices were active too. All of them. We had 70 to 100 investigations a year going on a regular basis, right? Lots. And then, one team kind of went their own way, suffered their own fracturation. And, implosion occurs, but when apathy happens over a while, I'm not gonna say it brings out the best and the worst in people, but it does, right? But it makes you realize that there's other things in your life, and you have, and then sometimes you don't want to be, like say, I just it's not in me anymore.
And that's fine.
I was almost ready to walk away from this 3 months ago. I was ready to hand it over. I can tell you, with a surety, that I'm 50 years old now, so I've still got. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Well, Ron, you just disappointed me. Why would I ever come to Brantford now? Hurt me. He had a really cool location. We went down there, but I was sick. I had to leave. I was there for like an hour or two, and then had to come home. I was sick. We've had to file things down. We've got about 9 members now, and very localized. 9 actives, and we're going to have to. Unfortunately, I think all of us as teams are. If we're going to want investigations, we've almost got to go out and get them again, which is almost like the very beginning, right? So, is there a positive to COVID? I think so.
I think there's silver lining. I mean, fresh meat that might actually stay around once COVID,
Yeah. Oh well, we've had members that have stayed around for 15 years, but I know where you're coming from on this. Where you guys all know, you get a new member, you're like, okay, look, you got to blah 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 blah. You got to get active. You got to make sure that you're, and then nothing ever happens.
Well, Brandon said he would love to guest, but he knows he can't put the effort in for.
That's right, which is all I want.
And that's what I said. I said, I'm glad you're aware of that because there's so many people that say they're in it and don't post anything. So I said, yeah, you can guest, but unless you're gonna put the effort in on the board, there's no sense of you joining. So said it's more than just being, an active investigating on houses and the commercials. You have to do the evidence review. You have to do the nitty-gritty. You have to do all that stuff. So
I think it's good though in a way that we're having to go back to a grassroots approach.
Yeah.
Like we've got to go get the investigations. Mm-hmm. We've got to do some more research. Like I know that we're going to have a one-on-one, which we haven't had in a couple of years. I mean, with my own team, like a training weekend where we all get together and like get tactile with stuff. Because if there's something I've noticed over the last couple of years, when we do get a chance to get to investigate,
there's some stuff.
It's the pencil isn't as sharp, right? Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, you think about it. Like when I went back to work after 2 years of being on disability, same job.
Yeah.
My first couple of weeks were an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Right. I the most basic things that I did for 10 years before that, I completely forgot. Now, I mean, I'm the point guy for everything that's going on, which is great. So it's the same thing with investigation. It's going to happen. Ronnie, we got to get together and do something soon. There's a lot going on down there in Brantford. I see that Tops is busy down there, and Tops in York is busy too. Really busy. I got to know what their secret is. I got to figure that out. Is there anybody else down your neck of the woods these days? I know that the whole Niagara region. Are you considered Niagara region? Is Brantford Niagara region? Is
it Peel?
No, it's Halton, isn't there something? Correct us, Ron. For a while, they were a hotbed of teams. Yeah. Like, I swear to God, I was going down there doing training sessions for teams left, right, and center that I would walk away from going, I hope they never get an investigation. And I wasn't charging people to train. I go down, just help, pay my gas, Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay, Kevin. Wait, are you the other guy that's out there, but you weren't talking the whole time?
No, we've had some drops and bumps and drops and
Oh, okay.
bumps. So.
So I know that there was a lot of teams, at least down the Niagara area. There was like 6 or 7 going on. Crazy amount of teams. Same as I used to hear. Crazy, which is really funny because in Toronto, there's not.
5 more teams down this way now.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sorry. You know what? Like I keep my cards pretty tight to my chest these days, as far as to whom I trust. There's one thing. You're reading the board, right? Oh. Well. I think it's a shame. The teams are kind of like getting cropped down. What's happening, of course, is that every team seems to implode, and then like this, and then you've got 3 other teams, which isn't always bad, right? Like some people have been able to keep integrity too. When I know when Kevin was with me for a while, and then it kind of comes to the point where we want to do our own thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to lead, right? And Kevin came to me already from leading a team, and that happens, and managed to keep the integrity down there. But I know that Kevin also suffered a bit of his own fracturation. Is that even a word?
I've never heard it. It's on a dictionary.
You're my daughter. Okay, I think it's a word. And vegetably. Vegetably is a word, and chronicling is a word. I argued with that.
I will message Webster's.
Chronicling is a word.
I get them down.
Chronicling is a word.
Chronicling. Okay. Can you use it in a sentence?
I was chronicling the life of,
All right.
And this soup smells vegetably. Mind my dog whining in the background.
It smells like vegetables.
No, it smells vegetably. All
right.
It's been in a book. I've seen it.
All right.
So, it can be a good thing to split up, and then in the same respect, not. I've seen some interesting teams that come out of teams, and really what they do is they come out. They all seem to want the ease. We're going to go do the fun.
Yeah.
And every place is haunted.
Yeah.
And we're going to use equipment that gives you immediate results.
Yeah.
Every single investigation, you get results. Every single investigation, you get a bunch of orbs. Oh my God. I still get screamed at. I still get screamed at about that. If somebody on the fan page, okay, please don't message my fan page. If you send me a message, and you've all had this, Kevin, you've had this, Ronnie, you've had this, Derek, you may have had this as well. I'd like your opinion on this. Here's a video. It was shot with security cam, whatever, and it's 3 orbs going across the room. So you, of course, say the honest thing. Well,
it's dust.
It's dust, and unfortunately, I try to be diplomatic about it. Like, the occurrences are just so high that, we can't, or, the chances that this is anything but. I'm afraid I don't think it's paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, I was told to come to you, I thought you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what you're asking me is, I need you to tell me that I'm right.
Just take a wet cloth and fix it.
Yeah. It drives me insane. I mean, people message my fan page and then lose their shit on me. Like I get messages for like 3 days. I'm telling you the damn honest truth about how many messages I get about how much of an asshole I am, and how I shouldn't be an investigator. And then a psychic said that their house, did this, and they had a healing ceremony there and everything, and that the priest said the place had to have an exorcism.
Yeah, one of the houses we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbors had a psychic and a medium, like all the houses nearby, and they insisted it was haunted.
I'm going to ask you guys a question, because I've got the exorcism thing going on, right? Do you know what it takes to get the Catholic Church to arrange an exorcism in your home? Do you know how many priests are actually trained to be an exorcist? It's amazing that we've literally run into about 50 cases where people say that there was an exorcism done in their home. No, there wasn't. There was somebody of some kind of spiritual nature that came over and spit shit
Yeah, I
all
was
over
gonna
their house,
say,
you know.
read something out of a book and
Blessed the place, saged
yeah.
it, whatever. And that was something else I don't understand. I see people that go out and they do all the saging and what, but there's not a spickle of indigenous culture or belief.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we've got a client in Scarborough, Joni. If she wants to do a saging, I'm fine.
Yeah.
She's a medicine woman.
Yeah. Well, yeah, white sage is
right.
Particular
Whatever.
culture.
But all of a sudden, everybody's just doing it.
Yes, I find the Wiccan culture and, you know, the Satanist culture, you know, whatever you want to actually believe in Satanism, go for it. But I find it has exploded, but not for the right reasons. I find it's very much for show.
TikTok.
You know, everyone's buying rocks and whatever, and, you know, they're blessing themselves with their rose quartz. And I find it's really weird because these are people that weren't raised Wiccan. They weren't start from like childhood, because I do have friends that have been Wiccan since they were infants. And then ones that have just walked into the culture like there's I'm Wiccan now. And
so
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. So mote it be.
Yeah, and I'm like,
or whatever.
Is this how it works now?
Yeah, I watched The Craft.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's the real effect of the way things are. Now we're going off on a total tangent, which is awesome. You know, the whole psychic game and all the religion thing. Exorcism. I was on exorcism.
Yeah.
So we've had like a bunch of cases talking about exorcism, houses being exorcised. I swear to God, I think there's two priests in Canada that are actually Vatican certified. Like, it's got to go through like the greatest levels, you know. And then I was talking about the saging. So like this is kind of like me bringing a copy of the Quran into the home and blessing the home with the Quran when I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't make sense. Why are you practicing this? Why are you thinking that I'm practicing this because it'll work when you don't prescribe to the actual belief structure, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, like me, like I am so are you. As you can see, both of us burn easily in the sun. Let's say that. All right, a little Welsh, a little Irish, very clear, you know, we're very translucently white. Okay, so if I'm going into a home and, you know, I'm like, okay, we'll get the sage. It's not going to make sense because I don't prescribe to it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You have at least lived in an indigenous population on a reserve.
Yeah.
So, you know, you were very young, but I mean, like, you could at least have some education in it. I don't. I'm born and raised in Oshawa. And then I moved to Pembroke, right? And then I came back to Oshawa. Yeah. So guess how much I've been to lots of cultured places. Yeah. But I'm sorry if I was raised not. So anyway, but I'm finding this. I'm making the big circle.
Yeah, it's okay. You're making the circle.
Right. Coming back to teams. Now that COVID is starting to open up again, COVID's opening up. The world is starting to open up again. Nobody wants to get out there and do anything, and that's unfortunate. It's going to take a bit to get people going. It really is. It's going to take a bit to get the juices happening. And maybe once a lot of them get into a couple of investigations, they'll get it back.
I'm hoping.
I hope so too. I have faith that will happen, but I do think it's a grassroots movement again, where, you know, we're going to have to go out and get those investigations. Maybe do some co-investigations with other teams, just to get that experience happening again, right? But I really, really want to avoid those teams that come out with the toys, unless it's a experience thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that if, like,
I'm gonna step out for a quick second. She'll continue to talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's just like Ron's saying, he brings it to investigations to say why we don't use these equipment. I just find when I see like teams with a big parabolic disc, and it looks so funny because I know they're doing it for show, because we have smaller devices that do that exact same thing. So you really left at a great time. if you guys can ask some questions, because I have no idea how to continue this live. But no, I have been in the investigatory world since I was quite young. One of my first investigations was just about an hour away, and
sorry, it was a copy disease.
Oh, I was about to start talking about the one with the autistic children.
Yep.
And because I myself am neurodivergent, and so is he won't ever talk about it, but I am very outspoken about it.
What did you call yourself?
Neurodivergent. So ADHD, autism, you don't have neurotypical brain. Anyway, he's an old fart. But so I knew what it was like, and so does he, to be ostracized as a child because you were different. And what had happened, vaguely, like the cousin had come over and ran out of the room, and she was nonverbal, and she had said this name over and over and over again, and never came back. And so I had hypothesized that potentially this nonverbal child felt connected to whatever was in the household, because they were able to relate to each other, not being able to be heard, not being able to be talked to, etc. And I was 14, did a solo, silently shitting my pants, but I felt like it was me because I really struggled with that growing up. People didn't understand why I was behaving the way I did, because back then ADHD was you're hyper, not any, you have emotional problems, you have, mood swings, bad regulation of pretty much anything. So I was bullied like crazy. So I was always like, oh my God, this investigation was definitely the start for me. And so
here you are.
Here I am.
And first off, she's university educated because she used the word hypothesized. I thought I was the one with big words in the family. She at least inherited the big words, but her mother's a big word person too. So between her mother and I, we created a big word child. Now, and I think most people know what eventually, I think I was talking about it and I wandered off.
Yeah, I'm a 50-year-old man.
I'm a 50-year-old man, so we're going to go back to the history we had 20 minutes ago. I mean, obviously to know that Fiona's a legacy. So, when I'm ready to retire, which could be, like Hans Holler's their age, I'll be like 80, but she's
have a biography written about
right. She'll, I'm in a book now.
Oh, okay. So we're almost there. Next step is bio.
Yeah, I've been in several books.
All right. So now we just need a biography written about you. I'll write it.
She'll be inheriting the team. You know what? When I'm old and feeble and a nervous wreck falling through my ass and breaking my neck, she'll have the for an incredibly long time because she's 22 this month.
Yeah.
Well, that's my youngest baby, so she'll be 22 this month. No kids yet, right? Yeah, so she'll get that, and that's one thing I wanted to introduce you guys. I got to give a big shout out to my team because we're almost done here. Honestly, like during the pandemic when Scooby and Aaron first came on board, Aaron was a client for a long time, and then she was so scared shitless, and then she came on board with us to beat her scaredness. I guess fears is a better way of saying that.
Yes.
I think scaredness is also a word. And Scooby. And I was too sick back then. For those who don't know, I spent 2 years, conveniently at the same time as COVID, really, on disability. And doctors couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with me. I had internal bleeding going on, all kinds of stuff. I couldn't do anything. All I could do could type and arrange. And these guys with no training took equipment and went and did. I had them doing like Ghost Road, like non-invasive investigations just to get to learn the equipment.
Yeah.
So I got to call out to Scooby and Aaron because you had your feet held to the fire because I held them to the same account that I would held anybody to. And they had members that were going to come join us that just decided not to show up. Members that did show up didn't quite do it. I got to give a big throw out to Phil because for a couple of years he did almost every single lead for me. And then you and Linda came along, and Linda's like major soldier. Linda's the oldest member of our team, I think. She's in her 60s, and like she carries cords up and down stairs and this and that. Like she just goes. So yeah, and that's fine because I don't want to do it. So call out to who we've got around. My wife Sandy, who does all the videos and still makes them look great, and she had to put up with me being a whiny bastard for a couple of years. But I think that's where the real problem lies. I got to have rest for 2 years, right? Well, I guess everybody did, kind of. But like, I was like confined to my chair for 2 years.
Yeah.
Now I want to get out there and do something. And when things don't go my way, I complain a lot. I'm verbal about how I feel.
Yes.
Right. So that's the
But
way.
that's good.
Yeah,
That it's constructive criticism,
Mhm.
and we can take it on to further investigations. I mean, starting with like one of the first houses I did, it was just me, Aaron, and Scoop, and we had to walk in there like we knew what the hell we were doing, and that was definitely a bit of a freak because like I had no idea how to start, and they wouldn't start talking, so I had like, hey, we're here.
Yeah. So we've had some having to learn. So anyway, look, I think we've taken enough of your time. We're just shy of an hour right now. First time I went to do the title on this, and I haven't remembered how many Darkside series I've done, so I just put the date on it.
Darkside.
It's Darkside. I hope you enjoyed just a little open chat tonight. I am back in the fray of things. My team is back in the fray of things. We are actively out there and grinding away, and I should be doing this more often. I'll probably, grab Fiona and do this on a co basis.
Sure.
We'll make sure that we're not working that kind of stuff. I know that the life has become monotonous and hell and busy all at the same time. Isn't it crazy that for 2 years we couldn't do a damn thing,
No.
and now all of a sudden there's not enough people to get the job done,
that's-
so none of us have any time.
Yeah,
Right.
It's wild.
It's nuts. So thank you very much.
Thank
you guys all
you.
stuck around here. That's great. Of
Yeah.
course, we know so many great people that are here yatting away with us. Continue to make comments. I hope more people get to view this. Share this video wherever you want. And somebody message me a topic for the next live. Okay?
Yes.
Please.
Please.
So that we can do it. All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.